Another problem you're going to have is this. You see, a lot of people feel, well, I might be a single parent, doesn't matter. I will just have a child. You know, I'll have a child for that one. Have a child for that one. Have a child for that one. But by the time you have a child for that one, apart from the fact that you have a problem emotionally, because you see, God made you to have feelings for just one person, and that person to have feelings for you, and both of you to complement and complete yourselves. But there you are. The man that you have a child for is not yours. It belongs to another woman. Yet you have a child for another man. Or maybe you don't have the child, you have slept with another man. So emotionally you are messed up. You are messed up emotionally. There's no happiness, there's no joy, there's no peace. And the children that you've had, there are different traits in them already. They have picked different things from the different men you slept with. And if that spirit or whatever it is that is operating in that man is not broken over their lives, they will automatically reflect that man. They will not only look like him physically, they will look like him spiritually. They will look like him mentally. All the spirits operating they will do everything he did. Praise the Lord.
In 1992, my life changed. Based on what Pastor Bimbo has been talking about. Okay, I come from a family where my mother gave me everything. My father died when I was about 10. My father died when I was about 10, so my mom had been in charge. But before my father died, I only saw my parents have an argument once. There was always peace, so I was from a standard home, no problems. But my problem was from outside. I went out with this guy who was depressed. All my life, I only heard of the word depression. I just did not know the meaning of depression until I met this guy. He was a definition of depression. I'm sorry, hold on please. I am not saying this because I want you to laugh, because it is not funny. You know, he came from a broken home. His mother married another wife, you know, his father married other wives, you know, that. And that really affected him. That was what got him into that depression for years. Every single person he came in contact with, he had problems with. But I didn't know. I was very young, you know. When your parents tell you something, please listen. Me, I did not sit down. I was a teenager. I had just entered my early teens, for Pete's sake. And I went out with this guy. And you know what Pastor Bimbas talked about? When you sleep with a guy, everything is transferred to you. What year are we in? We're in the year 2002. For 9 years. Pastor Bimba, I told you about this last year. Last year was when I started coming out of depression. So for all those who have known me before 92, you have not seen the real me. Because the real me was covered for years in one person that I met and an act that I got myself into. Because I found out that when Pastor Bimbo is talking sometimes, we say, she's a pastor. But I'm not a pastor. I'm not a head of a department. I'm just like one of you. And I'm telling you that you get involved in something and it hooks your life. It's like taking drugs, man. I didn't take drugs. Just one guy. And my life was almost messed up. Because I didn't understand. I was just a very free person. If I tell you yes, yes is yes. If I tell you no, no is no. I didn't understand what deceit was until I met this guy. He lied from the beginning to the end. I'm sorry. Look, you know what? I was pained for years. But last year, I forgave him because I understood that he did not know any better. Because really, you cannot give what you don't have. Thank you.
That's a good testimony.
I remember the day I got disvirgined. There's this thing people normally say. They said that when you get disvirgin, nothing changes. You're just the same, you know. There's no difference. They can't tell anything outwardly and all that and everything. But I remember the day I got disvirgined, and in the room with this guy, and I asked him, I said, do I look any different? He was like, no. And I'm like, am I walking any different? He's like, no, you're okay, you're normal. You know, and one thing I've realized with time is that you might not look any different physically, but the moment you do that, the moment you sleep with that man, emotionally, spiritually, everything-wise, you change. And you don't change for the better, you change for the worse. You see, and honestly, when I sat down there and Pastor Mimbo was talking, and I just realized that before I got this virgin, I was somebody else. I was free, I was loving.